Greetings to you! Let us explore the meaning behind the lyrics of Itlach In Mictlantecuhtli by Cemican. In general, the song is not about any particular story, but rather an insight into the funerary practices of Aztecs and their beliefs about the afterlife. It also should be mentioned that the lyrics contain quotes from an Aztec poem, which I am going to provide in the description. My explanation uses the poem as the context, so not everything I say is going to be derived from the lyrics themselves. With that out of the way, let us begin. In an Aztec burial ceremony, jade, gold and flowers were some of the so-called grave goods, that is, items that were placed into the grave with the deceased. What was more important, however, was the way a person died. It was believed that based on the way of death, different versions of the afterlife awaited the soul. In other terms, the way a person distinguished themselves in life influenced how they would fare after death. One of the locations a soul could find itself in was Chimalteuhtli, or the place of those whose flesh was stripped. It is not entirely clear whether Chimalteuhtli is a self-contained place or a part of another location. What is pretty certain is that it was the place where all the flesh was stripped from the soul. Only its deeds, its renown, and nothing more was carried further. Singing, crying and music were standard parts of the Aztec funerary rites. Some studies suggest that tears have been viewed as a sacred liquid. Weeping was a prominent part of the culture, making crying a more widespread activity than it is in many societies, both modern and contemporary with the Aztecs. As for the sound of drums, the song uses the word teocuicatl, which is indeed a type of drum. It was often used in royal ceremonies, but if we consider funerals, another drum, called teponastli, was likely to be used, possibly in conjunction with teocuicatl. The Aztec afterlife was a tough and terrifying affair. A soul had to travel through colliding mountains, jaguar-filled rivers of blood, skin-piercing blizzards, and many other obstacles. The whole journey to Mictlan, one of the possible worlds of the dead, took 4 years to complete. The line "my body is full of bones" most probably alludes to the aforementioned part of the journey during which the flesh was stripped from the deceased. Mictlantecuhtli is the lord of Mictlan, one of the possible lands of the dead. He and his wife Chalchihuitl reign over a specific part of the underworld, guard the bones of the dead, and greet the newcomers. In some myths, they simply greet the souls and accept their funerary gifts. In other legends, they scatter the souls into nothingness, granting them their deserved rest. As the journey of the deceased ends by meeting the god of the dead, so ends my explanation. That's all for the meaning behind the lyrics of Itlach In Mictlantecuhtli by Cemican. All the links to the band are in the description. Thanks for watching.